everyone is probably now fully aware that the NHS is striking over many reasons. Pay, equality. There's so many reasons why the NHS is striking, as well as like Royal Mail, the RMT. They're all striking. Okay, everyone part of the union. They're all doing their own strikes. Even teachers now are going on strike. But we're going to be talking about the NHS at the moment. We're going to be talking about Norwich and Norfolk University Hospital specifically. The amount of people who are being let down by the service at the moment. For the past couple of weeks, we've been shocked at the amount of ambulances we've been seeing queuing up at that hospital.
No, it's more than that.
Look at all them lined up, man. That's disgusting. Look at all them.
When me and my dad went down there were 33 waiting at the hospital. I believe all of them had patients inside, waiting to go inside the hospital. Some people being wheeled off, very occasionally, which was a sight to see, of course. We got speaking to one of the ambulance drivers in the NHS outside after we had counted all of the ambulances queuing up, because he was curious as to how many there were. And apparently, all of them that day, or the day beforehand, according to that person, all of them had been queued outside of the hospital, meaning all of 36, he told us. 36 ambulances for that hospital, and the day that we went down there were 33. There were 33 out, meaning there were 3 that were supposed to be working. 3, only 3 for that entire hospital, and the amount of people in Norfolk. Come on. Keeping in mind that an ambulance should only take around 8 minutes, apparently, on average, to get to a patient, give or take a few minutes. I've known people who have broken a leg, let's say, fallen down a flight of stairs, I've heard, for one instance, and the wait time was estimated by the ambulance, the caller, that it would take 16 hours to get to her. It would be quicker to just drive her to the hospital if she could walk and if she wasn't in so much pain. It would have taken 16 hours to get an ambulance. Think of the people who are having heart attacks and strokes, who need an ambulance right there, right now, in life or death situations. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. So let's just take a look at a few articles. I've got a few articles lined up here. So our first article here, Norfolk Hospital named as having the country's highest death rate. Put that into perspective, my home county's hospital, the main hospital of that county, and where the university students are going to train, has the highest death rate. That's brilliant. You don't want to hear that about a hospital anywhere, especially during a strike as well, especially when all the strikes are going. Bear in mind as well, Norfolk didn't strike, or at least the NNUH didn't strike, but other places did. Thankfully, this one didn't, because imagine the chaos, imagine the uproar. Officials at the hospital say their investigation has found no evidence that the rate was linked to the quality of care at the colony site, and believed its position at the top of the league table can be explained by hospitals submitting their data in different ways. However, local watchdogs say the figures are extremely concerning and have called for the findings of the investigation to be made public. Between June 2021 and May 2022, 3,080 people died at the NNUH or within 30 days of being discharged. 510 more than the number of expected deaths. 500 is a lot. 510 is a lot of deaths. Especially during a quote-unquote pandemic as well. It's a very shocking statistic, to be honest. We have investigated our high summary hospital mortality indicator and have not found any evidence to suggest that this is being driven by deficiencies in the quality and safety of the care provided at the NNUH. Well, I have an article to contradict that slightly on the amount of staff working. Additionally, also may I add that I know someone personally, or I know a few people personally who work in the NHS, or at least in the shops at the university hospital, and many people are going to work, are going home sick. Many people aren't turning up to work. Many people are skiving, unfortunately, and many people don't do the work. That's my feedback from people who do work at the hospital. Our second article here. My wife was left to die alone and in pain on a busy NHS ward. How did that happen? On the night of Janine Huggins' death, just 2 nurses were looking after a ward of 34 patients at the NNUH. 2 nurses for 34 patients. That's shocking. An NHS trust has apologised to a man whose wife died alone and in pain after admitting that reduced staffing levels on its wards played a significant role in her death. He was devastated after being told his wife of 50 years, Janine, had passed away during the night without him being by her side following a series of failings at the NNUH last year. She was 69. She was being successfully treated for stage 2 lymphoma, but had been suffering side effects from chemotherapy for several days, so needed emergency care. At hospital, she was diagnosed with neutropenic sepsis, a whole body reaction to infection, which is life-threatening, and acute kidney injury, where the kidney suddenly stopped working properly. Blood results indicated Miss Huggins was stable. So take this into account. Obviously, if if a patient is worryingly sick, and seems to be going downhill, sort of, whether it's slowly or fast. You can see here she was last observed at 11 p.m. at night on the night of her death. Here, and then Mrs. Huggins was not seen again until 2 a.m. where she was unresponsive. You can't really, you shouldn't be leaving a patient for 3 hours in that sort of in that condition. But again, there was only 2 members of staff looking after 34 patients. So it's understandable, but it's not good at all. I keep saying it's shocking. It is very shocking. Like, if you would hate going to hospital now, I feel, because you wouldn't know what's going to happen. You wouldn't know if you're going to be taken care of. You wouldn't know whether you're going to be in safe hands. You wouldn't know whether you're even going to get out of the ambulance in time. You would probably be after treated in the ambulance, to be honest. Lastly, we have this one from Sky News. Record number of ambulances queue at A&E departments in England, and its NHS comes under increasing pressure. I don't know why I read that so weird. Some 44% were delayed by 30 minutes or more, the highest proportion on record. Keep in mind, the ambulance driver we spoke to, I wish I had got it on record, but hopefully I will get an interview of someone eventually about it all. Perhaps when it's all calmed down, but hopefully prior to that, hopefully very soon. But he said that some of the ambulances were there for 14 hours and more. Well, yeah, I think it was maybe even 16 hours. I think he might have said. But yeah, really, we're gonna leave a patient in there for 16 hours? That's incredible. And not in a good way, of course. On 1st of January, Sky News counted 24 ambulances parked outside the A&E department at the Royal Stoke University Hospital. A member of ambulance staff told Sky News that at one point in the day their official dashboards showed 32 ambulances were stuck waiting to transfer patients to the hospital. So, yeah, how can people be okay with going to the hospital now? I know that's a really harsh way of putting it, but you don't know whether you're going to be treated in time anymore. But it's really it's disturbing. It's worrying. Like, no wonder the death rates are probably going to be going up this year, because no one can be treated. No one can be treated. So yeah, that is all for this video. Unfortunately, I guess unfortunately I don't have an interview to put into this video, but hopefully I will do within the next few months. Please leave your opinions down in the comments. Please leave your experiences down in the comments, because obviously I'm sure everyone wants to know how downhill the NHS is actually going in reality, which honestly I'm sure a lot of us want to be in denial about. But I mean, coronavirus probably ruined the NHS, in all fairness. They stopped most of the wards. They halved all the wards to stop the spread, but look where we are now. My social links are all in the description of the video. So I have an Instagram, I have a Telegram, which I post a lot more on, Odysee, For uncensored content, I have a Rumble account where I put all of my live streams on, or at least I try to put all of my live streams on. I have a Twitter account which I post quite a lot on. Obviously YouTube. Yeah, I think those are the main ones. Yeah, like I said, please comment your opinions, replies, experiences, because maybe I'll do another follow-up video. Maybe I will record your experiences for you. If you want to do an interview about your experience, please email me. It's sincere@protonmail.com. If you want to just write your experience and I'll read it out, it's your choice. I'm happy to do whatever, whichever you're comfortable with. If you have anything to report back to me. Yeah, take care everyone. I hope you enjoyed.